Welcome back to the Our Town Podcast. Today, I have a super cool photographer, Ashley Gilbert with Ashlight Thyme, and she's also a fellow Public Square member, along with me and thousands of other people in the Sacramento area. And she is going to be going over everything about photos, how she got started in the business, what she can do, who she can help, and I would love to welcome her now to the Our Town Podcast. Thank you so much. I am super excited to have you here today, fellow Public Square attendee.
Yeah.
And so how did you get started in this business?
Well, I started this business in 2016 is when I started taking pictures. And I've always loved taking pictures since I was a kid. And I don't even know when I got my first camera because my parents gave it to me at some point when I was like maybe 8 or 9 or something like that. But
did you have a Polaroid?
I think I might have had a Polaroid. Yeah, those were a thing back then.
Did you just
and
date
now they're
yourself?
back.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the Instax cameras are like, my daughter had one.
Yeah.
And they just do those little tiny pictures, you know.
Yeah.
But I did end up getting a digital camera later on when I was older. And that camera was good. It was good-ish. Like they had just kind of rolled out. And digital photography was something that I wasn't even like, I never thought I would be into. I did most of the throwaway cameras where you take the picture and then you have to guess later, like, what is it going to be,
Yeah.
So then when I started taking digital photography in 2016, I always loved taking pictures. I was like, maybe I could do this. I have a lot of friends and family that I was taking pictures of already. And so my friend just said, maybe you should try doing something in the neighborhood, because my neighborhood has a nice trail and a trail like where it goes from one neighborhood to the other. And so basically that's where I started. I've asked these people on the community page on Facebook, hey, would you guys be interested in these family photo shoots, in the neighborhood? And I've got so many people that were like, yeah, that'd be great,
Is that how you just kicked off like that?
Yeah,
you just put it out there.
She was like, you really should do it. A lot of people, because we'd only been living there for a couple of years, but I had a lot of friends that I'd known for a long time because I grew up here.
Yeah.
So it was very like, I had so many friends who just saw that my pictures, that had already seen my pictures, online, because I had posted them. So that was basically how I got started. And then I kept doing that every year. Every year I would do pictures in the neighborhood. And after a while it just became, can you do another location? Where else can we go? So then I end up having, more locations in Folsom, Sacramento. I did locations in Roseville, just kind of all over this area. So
are you doing mainly outdoor shoots? Are you doing any indoor shoots?
I do mostly outdoor. Yeah,
okay.
Mostly outdoor. And sometimes indoors, mostly for the newborn sessions.
Okay.
Because I do
Yeah, you don't
newborn.
want a baby crawling around in the...
No, we don't want that. No. No, the newborn sessions I like to do in-home. So I like to go to people's homes and do the sessions at home where it's nice and comfortable. And I bring my stuff with me and we just kind of do it that way. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have any sort of setup that you typically do? Do you have when you do those newborn?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I usually just bring my on-camera flash. I have lighting, that I use for if I'm ever at home doing sessions, but I usually just take my camera with me and I kind of try to do some window lighting so we get some good natural light in somebody's house. We kind of ask, I ask them, where is the best place in your house that has the most light coming in? So I can get nice shadows and light, with the baby and kind of pick a spot that, looks good and all that. So usually we find a good spot and they have, good props to come, along with it. I always let my clients pick at least a couple of props to include in the newborn photo sessions. So
from there, you just kind of literally blew up word of mouth?
Yeah, that's really how it began. all of the people that have come, most of the people that have found me through a referral. So somebody who said, hey, my friend takes pictures, or, this lady took our pictures and they were really good, or they just saw them on Facebook or something like that. And everybody's liking all the pictures, that they posted from their family session. So sometimes it's fun because I can go in and sometimes find these people like on Facebook, because I don't friend everyone on Facebook because I just don't know, if they're okay with that. So I'll just get on and I'll be like, oh, that'd be cool if I could just, see like how many likes they got on that photo, and a lot of the time they blow up, and they get like all these likes and loves, and I'm like, this is awesome, I love this. This is like.
Have you thought about DMing those people? And
right,
like,
I should DM them.
I could do that for you.
Or sometimes they'll DM me because they'll just be like, hey, and my watermark is on all my photos that I take online.
Yeah.
So people see, my watermark. My friends will say, hey, this person took my photos, and they'll credit me, and then they'll contact me.
Yeah.
And say, hey, like I heard you take pictures and they turned out really awesome for this person. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So now from there, you've started venturing into doing full business shoots and that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm actually doing I'm doing a business shoot in September for my friend who does a food truck.
Okay.
So that's going to be awesome. And she's a friend of mine too. So her food truck is really cool. She does drinks and treats.
Okay. What kind of drinks and treats?
She does sips. She's called Sips. She does sodas.
Okay.
And energy drinks kind of thing. And she mixes them up with like syrups and things to like make them, different flavors and all that stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Different power drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you like a boost. Yeah. So, and I go over there because I'm like, I need caffeine. So, I'm rolling my home over, with my crazy kids. So I'm like, I need some caffeine. So I'm over there a lot. And so, her food truck's really nice, actually. She has like a nice setup with the kitchen, and it looks really, really cool. She made it look like a kitchen you would walk into your house.
Okay.
Like it has the tiles on the backsplash and all that stuff, So
you'll be able to go in there and really give it some good depth. And
we're going to get it in some natural light and give it like a good like backdrop if we can. Just, make sure that it looks really cool when she posts it on her Instagram and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And then are you able to do, let's say, team photos? Because we work with a lot of real estate agents. Ourselves, we also, every year we do team photos, things like that. Are you able to work with teams, and then also, for real estate agents, also even other businesses go in and, hey, here's everybody, and group photos?
Definitely. I've done lots of headshots for a lot of people. Honestly, I've done headshots for a lady who was doing hair, and she needed a headshot. Headshots are my jam. I like headshots. I mean, I do them for senior portraits too. Okay. So it really is. And then the group shots, I've done a lot of group photo sessions with, so many people. Yeah. So, and I've actually had a group session where I had about 100 or so people in the photo. So it's a tricky setup. Yeah, it's a really tricky setup. But
how do you layer 100 people?
We had a stadium setting. Okay. So they were sitting, up a hill kind of deal, and everybody had their row. And I always say, if I can't see you, you can't see me. So so we need that brick effect, where everybody's able to like have a face coming through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have my little words that I like to use for people to understand what I'm trying to express, because it is hard to tell people like how to do something in words, and then they're like, wait, what am I doing? So you have to actually go in there and like show them. So anyway, it's tough doing the group shots, but they turn out amazing, like when you have everything set up the right way and like you get the lighting good and all that. So
most real estate teams big teams are 10 to 15.
Yeah, that's not very many at all.
And then, I'm sure there's much bigger teams, but 10 to 15 is about what you would be shooting. Mm-hmm. And then usually they break you off into single headshots. So is that a good thing? Would you want to do that in an outdoor setting?
Outdoor settings, indoor settings even. Okay. I have the lighting for that too. Okay. So, I'm interested in all of those types of settings. And the studio setting I get, I've done studio settings for a lot of headshots too.
Okay. And
so
the probably the worst thing ever to shoot. Do you do weddings?
no, I did try weddings. I did try a couple of weddings a few times. It just wasn't
Not
my
that
thing.
weddings are bad.
No, weddings are great. I love weddings. I love going to weddings, but I do not like being the photographer at a wedding.
Yeah.
It's just it takes a lot of my day. It's I know lots of wedding photographers. If you need a wedding photographer, I
Reach
know
out to you.
lots of people that do wedding photography, and they do a fantastic job. So, and it just involves, you have to sometimes have a second shooter, all those types of things. So you have to really, have your balls, like everything has to be in the right, setting.
Right place, right
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
right
And
setting.
you have to have all the lighting
Yeah.
on hand in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backup cameras, backup
Backup
everything.
cameras. Yeah. You need all that. So
Okay, so we're no on weddings.
no on weddings,
All right.
but I know lots of people that do great wedding sessions. So
Do you do anything else?
I do senior portraits. I do a lot of family sessions. I do newborns. I do milestone sessions.
What's
where
milestone session?
It's kind of like where, the baby's born, then they want like a 6 month,
Okay.
want 6 month photos, 12-month photos, or I do like back to school photos sometimes. I do this for my own kids because that's really easy.
Yeah.
And I don't have to pay anybody to do it. It's just me,
Yeah.
And so, I do a lot I vary a lot. I just don't do the weddings. That's mostly the thing that I just don't enjoy.
Nice.
So,
nice.
yeah.
So how else are you getting the word out about yourself? Because it seems like you're doing really good now. Where do you want to get to?
Eventually, I want to have a studio.
Okay.
That's been a goal of mine for a very long time. I started, I had a goal in 2016 I had a 5-year goal for myself. I wrote down all the things that I wanted to do and be with my photography.
Were you watching The Secret while you were doing this?
Probably, who hasn't watched that, right? But no, I did have this list of things that I wanted to accomplish, in 5 years. And the studio, it's taken me longer than I thought it would. So at some point, I would like to have a studio kind of close to where I live because it would be very convenient. So I've thought about a studio in our plaza, kind of by Anatolia. That's kind of the area that I'm in most of the time. So that would be great, if I had a studio over there. They have a lot of open spaces.
Would that studio be to bring people in or just a place to work?
Be to work and bring people in, honestly.
Okay.
Because it would be nice to be able to have my own space to work. Right now, my office is in my room. So we have a computer set up in there, and I have all my stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal. So I would love to have just my own space. And I could go to work, come home, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
And you don't have the kids running in.
Right. The kids running in, screaming at me, while I'm trying to do my photos. Yeah.
Shooting you with a Nerf gun.
Yes. Yeah. My kids will do that. They totally will. Yeah. Yes. They probably have done that before, honestly.
Yes. That's about right.
Yeah.
And you get the peace of time and the quiet.
Yep. It's great. And my husband knows, when I come home from a photo shoot, I'm smiling from ear to ear because really that's the funnest part for me is going out and meeting all these people. I'm a people person. I love meeting people. So
nice.
I love that.
And your first job was in the mortgage business.
It was.
Same thing I do.
Yeah.
What was your time like doing that?
It was good. I mean, I started out at Washington Mutual.
Okay.
Before
it exploded.
Everything crashed.
Yeah.
And when I came back from, I was gone for a little while, and I came back and they were no longer around. I was like, what happened? And then I was looking for another job because I wanted to go back to home loans. And it took me a little bit to find something, but I found something through a friend. Yeah. And I was hired at Countrywide as a loan processor.
Before it crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was the last you saw me at any home loan thing.
Yeah.
But I did, after, a few years, think maybe I could be in real estate. That would be interesting. I did actually work for an escrow company after my daughter was born for a short time. And, that lasted maybe a few months. But, I enjoyed those, those jobs. I loved the detail of everything. I liked finding the mistakes that were in the papers and all that stuff. Yeah.
Has that carried over, like that detail and all that kind of stuff carried over to your business
with my
now?
pictures, I'm like so picky about everything that's showing, like, and actually I was kind of kicking myself with my last photo shoot because my client was saying, there's this dot above Angelina's head. And I was like, oh, what is that? And I opened it up and I was like, oh, it was a little bokeh, like a little bokeh piece above her head. And it was just part of the scene, but it looked weird. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to take that out. Don't know why I didn't see that because I'm really detailed. I like to look at every little thing. If there's a shadow that doesn't look right, or, there's maybe a bump in the pregnancy photo, that isn't quite right, because the dress is like bunched up. You have to like fix that in Photoshop. So there's a lot of details to that too.
One thing I was just thinking of is food shots. Like true food shots would be a great way.
I probably do food shots on the side, honestly, because I do that in my kitchen when I'm like making something really yummy. I'm like, ooh, picture. Need a picture of that.
Yeah, but if you were to put that into maybe going around to restaurants and doing food shots for their websites and stuff, that could be a great
And that's a
avenue
great
for
thing
you.
to do for people. I've actually looked into that because what photographers will do is they'll go in and they'll say, hey, like if you want pictures for your Instagram for a few months, like I can come in and get this all banged out in 1 day or 2 days, and we can have all the pictures you need, and you just plan to post them when you want to. And then they just post them every day if they want. They post them every other day just to keep like the Instagram rolling because, the algorithms are really, they've got to keep on top of those. So that's a good way to do that too, because a photographer will say, we'll just get these all done and you'll have all these pictures for like another 3 months or something. And then I'll come back, in another 3 months and you pay me like a rolling subscription or something like that if you want.
That could be good. That could be really good.
Yeah.
Now, have you thought about doing that for any other industries?
Yeah, I have. I was thinking about it for my SIPS friend because she, she's always posting reels and pictures for her Instagram. Yeah, that's always been a thought for all kinds of businesses. There's, the businesses are endless. Yeah. Have you gotten into any like home shoots, like shooting a home for a real estate agent for like their flyers and for that type of stuff? Right. No, that's not something I've done, but I've always been interested in it. I did like architecture when I was in high school. Yeah. And I actually did little plans, on a computer. I wanted to see what kind of house I could build, like plan it all out. And so, I've always been interested. I take pictures of my house, know. So, there's a lot to do with real estate. That's a very, and the pictures, if they're good, it will help the home sell. If the pictures are kind of want. Oh, I've seen some bad ones. I've seen some where I think the guy had his eyes closed with with an iPhone 1. Those are not good. Not good. You're like, what were you thinking? Right. So when you're getting into all that stuff and you're fixing everything in these photos, so you're using Photoshop currently, and how did you get into start using that? So first I started with Photoshop Elements, and that's kind of like an introductory to Photoshop. So I did that the first year, mostly because it was cheaper. Yeah. But I wanted to start out kind of working my way into things, and I kind of did that with my camera as well. So I wanted to make sure I was actually going to go through with everything, Yeah. So with Photoshop Elements, I learned the basics of layering. Yeah. And with Photoshop, it's kind of the same thing, only there's a lot more buttons that you can use. Yeah. And there's a lot more options. So with Photoshop, I actually learned, kind of funny story, I did not take classes for Photoshop like in school. I actually just went to YouTube and I learned from this particular YouTuber everything that I needed to know. And I did everything like as he was like going through the list of, how do you get this? What's an example? newborn photo skin, right?
Yeah.
Because newborns have kind of blotchy skin most of the time when they're first born. So you have to go through and you need to smooth it all out, but you still need to leave the texture in there. So it's very detailed. So what I did was I went through his, tutorial of how to do that. And I wrote down, on a piece of paper, all the notes of like how to do that. And I would just go through and I would use my own picture and do what he said.
Yeah.
So I did all of my learning through him. I want to thank him, actually, because
You want to give him
he
a
was
shout
my
out?
teacher. Yeah. He was my teacher. And I mean, it was amazing. Like I now I understand Photoshop so well that I used to take forever to edit photos. Like it was almost really like kind of scary. My husband would be like, okay, how long are you going to be? It's been like 4 or 5 hours. And I'm like, I'll be out there soon. But no, after I really started learning, I can edit photos within 15, 20 minutes, each.
Nice.
So, but that's my MO though with my photography is just that I'm able to, I just tell people, there's a lot of photographers out there, right? And they do the basic, edits, not necessarily all the skin and all that stuff, and that's a very long process.
Yeah.
But to have the preset or to have like something already set up on your Photoshop, to just do that real quick, it's a lot easier. So that was something I had to learn how to record my own like presets so that I could do those things like flyaway hairs and skin and like, making the eyes pop and all that stuff. So
with a person like me, could you add on hair and make it instead of gray?
Yeah, if you want more hair, we can add more hair. I can find somebody's hair and put it on there. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
It's kind of crazy what you can do in Photoshop, honestly. And it's changing so much. Like every year it changes.
Yeah.
So you really have to keep up.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Now, if somebody wanted to track you down, where are they going to find you at?
Well, they'll find me on Facebook.
Okay.
I have a Facebook page, and that's kind of where I started.
All right.
My photography was on my Facebook page, and then I added my Instagram, and then I added my website. So now I have all 3 of those things, and there's a lot of ways to contact me.
Are you on LinkedIn at all?
I'm not.
Okay.
I should probably join that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband's on there. So it would be great to, the more, ideas that I have that come up where I can get my face out there, like that's,
Perfect.
I'm all about it.
So down below, we'll have all of her information if you are looking for headshots, high school graduation photos, business photos,
group
photos.
Group photos. Oh, I actually did do some headshots for my friend who's running for the school board, so that was awesome. And I actually did a package for her, so we did her like kind of out in the public with the kids and stuff, and then we did photos just of her for headshots, and then we're going to do her family session Sunday. So
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Great.
It was great catching up, and I hope that you continue the success.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, awesome.